Hello, welcome to another edition of the Alter Confusion Hangout. I am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific cover himself, Zelius.
What's up, Mr. Auburn wannabe fan?
I am an Auburn fan. I'm not a wannabe fan. Thank you very much, and I'm doing fantastic. Well, actually, you didn't ask how I was doing.
Is sort of threshold for fandom if you never actually went to that university.
I have been on the campus. I was accepted to the university. I just chose to go elsewhere. Thank you very much.
Well, it shows your true loyalties. I'm just saying.
Auburn was my number 3 school.
Mm.
Winthrop was my number 2.
Mm.
So I went to Winthrop.
Mm.
But I would have been more than happy to attend Auburn University.
And yet you didn't go there.
No, because Winthrop accepted me.
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty low in your. It'd be like marrying like your third choice in wives. I'm just saying, it's kind of the same thing.
No, it's not. Okay, so here's some crazy ass logic. It's called Winthrop doesn't have a football team.
I'm aware of this. I almost forgot that Winthrop doesn't have a football team. My gosh, my mind is blown.
Yes.
Blown, I tell you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's actually get into some video game chit chat instead of fandom of college sports.
That most people probably don't care about. Actually, most people probably do care. Maybe not just about us, but in some form or fashion, they care.
They want to know us better.
That's a scary thought. I don't know why.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was very happy to report that all of our videos, except for, of course, this one, are currently available in Alter Confusion. After much delay on my part.
I noticed. I went on there today. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of Alter Confusion Hangouts posted in one day.
But here's the craziness. I actually put the post date to one day after our the video.
But they all show up like in chronological order of when you actually posted them.
I know. But so if you were to look at the page, I'm just saying.
But you should know that in today's age of I want immediate gratification right now, people just look at like a casual glance. They're not going to look at it in great detail to see the actual date.
Fine, whatever. I am happy to report we do have like 2 more YouTube channel subscribers. So, there's that.
Ooh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about some video game action. I have been playing the game Gomo by Daedalic Studios. This one, of course, is you are kind of this. How do I describe it? You're kind of like this burlap sack creature whose dog gets kidnapped by aliens. And the aliens will only return your dog if you return this super powerful crystal, which apparently is buried or hidden away in like the bottom of the earth. So it is a point-and-click adventure, which does not surprise me whatsoever since it is Daedalic. Yes, Zelius, I see that you have a question. Is
there a reason that your dude gets chosen of all the people in the world, gets chosen to go find this crystal, or is there some special destiny of your character? Or does it just happen to be random?
I believe it was just random. I believe that they saw a weak link in my being, and that was I love my dog to death. And so they kidnap the dog and hold the dog for ransom. And I love the dog so much that I have to go get this crystal because I need my dog back.
Wow, that's some mad dedication. You think with all that effort expended to go get that crystal, you could have just got your dog back?
But I don't know where the dog is.
But you don't know where the crystal is either.
I kind of do.
The middle of the earth is a pretty big area, I'm just saying.
Well, they kind of like go that way and go get the crystal for us. And so I go that way, and it turns out there's like a city underneath the earth. And I basically walk into the vault, and there is the crystal! I'm sorry, I just ruined it for everyone. Shit. Thanks a lot, Zelius.
Wow, my life has just been ruined by the spoiler that you've given me on the game. I still already don't remember the name too.
Gomo.
I know it's
by
Daedalic.
Fish Cow Studios. Daedalic is the publisher. Which reminds me, Daedalic Entertainment is proud to announce that they were voted the top German studio for the year.
Rock on. Reminds me, I still have that code for the Daedalic game in my email.
Blackguard.
But I played a grand total of about 45 minutes of gaming this entire week, which was preceded by the podcast.
Aha. Well, there you go. Okay, let's get into the breaking news that ironically broke right after our last video, which ironically, this news has parallels to stuff that we talked about in the last video. And that, of course, is that MTV is going to pick up the series of Shannara to be their own Game of Thrones.
I'm skeptical. I think that's a nice way of putting it, is I'm skeptical. Yeah.
Well, look at it this way. I mean, it really does have like almost 30 years, or actually, hell, more than 30 years worth of material. It's got more than 25 books. This is definitely not my favorite author.
My guess is going to be something like the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind, where it's kind of like it has like stuff from the books, but it's not like it's following like the Sword of Shannara from start to finish. You know, it's not like it's going to follow the book word for word or try to, like A Song of Ice and Fire, which I know is not what the movie is called, but I'm a total mind blank what it's called on the
Game of Thrones.
Thank you. Wow.
You're welcome.
Game of Thrones. I'm guessing it's not going to be like a Game of Thrones where it follows it that strictly, where it's like, you know, season 1, season 2 follows the books.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that the first season is going to be based off of the Elfstones of Shannara. I don't know how close they're going to do that. I have never read the Elfstones of Shannara, simply because I think that Terry Brooks has this certain way about writing their book, or his book. Is it a he or a she? I think it's a he.
I'm pretty sure it's a he.
Okay. The way that he writes his books is just like, I swear to God, he's got like this magical number of pages he has to obtain in order for him to submit the book. And so it's like the most asinine scene that has no relevance whatsoever. He goes on and describes in length the rough edges of the wooden table and how the grains spiral in such a way. And there's this glass of wine sitting on the table, and the glass isn't new. It's kind of old, and it's not really glass. It's more crystal. And the wine has kind of this like minty, earthy smell to it, but the taste is like chocolate. But the color of the wine, who the fuck cares?
I think you have a future as a ghostwriter for Terry Brooks, Gio. You got it going. I like it.
Oh my God. It drives me nuts. I mean, you're in the middle of a fucking, like, run through the world. Someone's chasing you. And then you stop at an inn to rest. And then the next 50 pages are about how well worn the fucking tables are at this inn. Relevance? None.
Well, that was what interesting about the TV series, though, is I think the Terry Brooks books, The Sword of Shannara, it's a cool idea. Like the concept and some of the stuff that goes on is actually pretty interesting. And then they also have like the druid. I can't remember his name now. Alamar maybe or something along those lines.
Might be. I don't know.
Whatever. But like there's like, you know, the last druid is like totally badass. I remember some pretty cool battle scenes with them. Mm-hmm. So there's some really kind of neat things in the books. But there's, like you said, there's like you get to this like middle 2/3 of the book. And it just drags on forever. And it's like, oh my gosh. It's like Tolkien, but bad. Yeah. Really what it comes down to.
See, my one fear is that since MTV is the company that is grabbing hold of this, is that it's going to be more like Smallville, Vampire Diaries, what the fuck is Beauty and the Beast?
I could go with. Is that bad? That's not a bad thing to me.
No, it's not bad. But I think a lot of people. I think because MTV is doing it, I think you're going to see a more like teen angst version of Shannara, and not that hardcore slit your throat Game of Thrones type of feel.
I could see that. Although, you know, a show like you mentioned, Vampire Diaries, that gets pretty intense at times with the vampires. Kind of just hacking and slashing and killing everybody.
Here's how I tell the difference. Uh, a Game of Ice and Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You can get away with some butt ass ugly characters. Vampire Diaries, from all the previews I've seen, have to be pretty people.
Okay.
That's the only way.
This is true. They all are pretty spoken, man. I'm not gay, and even the guys are a little bit woo wee, man. Yeah, this church.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, there is definitely the pretty people aspect to it. Like, for instance, say a Game of Thrones was on MTV networks.
Oh God.
Do you think you would ever have Tyrion Lannister as he is?
No.
Or say Brianna of Tarth?
No.
Like they would have cast like freaking like who's the chick from Transformers?
Megan Fox.
Like they would have made Megan Fox be Brianna of Tarth or something. Like those kind of changes are what they would have done. So in that regard, yes, you're right. They would have changed things just a little.
Just a wee bit.
I'm trying to pull up on it. I can't find any, but I know MTV Studios has had like other actual like movies you've heard of, but I can't.
Jackass.
Okay, hopefully I step above Jackass. Hopefully. Well, I can only
Napoleon Dynamite.
Woo! Which I didn't really find that entertaining, anyways. I'm just not that sophisticated. I like explosions and shit blowing up.
Yeah. MTV's more about the drama and the angst and the betrayal because you just did the guy that your best friend was in love with, but he was drunk, so you took advantage and then decided to videotape the whole thing.
So you're saying the show really should be on the CW? That's like every show on the CW in a heartbeat. I mean, what do you have in that network? You have that. I mean, you have the Vampire Diaries. You have that other novel series, The Liars Show, or whatever that is.
Oh, Pretty Little Liars.
You got Arrow, which actually isn't bad.
I heard it's not bad.
It's on Netflix season 1.
Yeah, I need to actually read.
It's actually not. I mean, there is some angst, but it makes sense angst at least.
Right.
Not bad. Yeah, CW is just full, but they have their target audience on the CW, and they have the shows for that audience, and it works well for the shows that they're doing, what they're trying to do. Yeah. So, I mean, makes sense. So, yeah, but it's kind of almost like, what's that target demographic? And that's why I can't figure out what's going to be the target demographic of the Score Sonora. I mean, I thought the came out, the early 80s was when the series first came out, wasn't it?
No, it was in 77.
So you talk about, people who first started reading the series are, 40 years old now.
50.
50s, damn. But then you look at, like, most fantasy TV series, Game of Thrones excluded, are usually oriented towards, the younger generation. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of how do you, balance what probably their core audience is versus what a show like MTV or the CW orients those shows to, which is obviously the youth. Right. Or like Gen X or whatever. I don't even know what the
here's how I see it. It's going to be Jersey Shores, but Shannara.
Ooh, the reality show series of Shannara. I love it. The winner gets the sword into the series to stab their foe on national television.
Oh Lord!
I guess that would be mixing in Catching Fire or whatever that other movie series is.
Hunger Games.
Yeah. Or as I prefer it, the American version of Battle Royale.
It's Battle Royale meets what's the name of that damn oh my gosh, it's a Stephen King novel. It is called they made a movie, Running Man. It's Battle Royale meets Running Man.
Okay. That actually, I'll take that analogy. That actually makes sense for me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the next bit of news here. Some of you might have crossed paths with this online fighting game. I know that it's on several different platforms. I believe it's on Steam. I know for sure that it's on Xbox Live Arcade and, of course, the PlayStation Network. And that, of course, is Skullgirls. This has basically been like a almost almost 100% crowd-funded game. All of the characters were hand-drawn, all the animations, all that stuff. And of course, they did like a part partnership. Lab Zero Games is the development studio behind this game, and they did kind of this like partial partnership with Konami to really get it out to all the systems. Now, Konami apparently were being douchebags from day one and were dragging their feet, whatever. And so Lab Zero Games decided, hey, let's cut our losses, let's go our separate ways. So as for Konami, their parting gift was they put out a declassification request to Sony and Microsoft to knock Skullgirls off of the listing for both the systems.
That's playing dirty right there. I don't know enough about the backstory to know like what happened or whatever. So I mean, I've read that story. I'm like, it's one of those things I haven't been following at all, and I have no idea what the backstory is. I'm just like, well, that kind of sucks. I mean,
Yes,
I don't know like how much I guess money or whatever the Konami actually put into this effort with Skullgirls.
right.
Is there any real justification to the actions they took, or are they just being petulant kids about it?
Probably the latter. So, I'm sure. I mean, Lab Zero Games, they to be able to create this damn thing from um, the bottom up. Pretty sure they got their shit enough together to keep this game from disappearing, and then them having to face I think it's a month time to resubmit, which of course would suck balls because of the holidays are literally like 12 days away.
Well, it sounded like from reading online though that like they're already reaching out to other publishers to try to
Right,
work something out with a
right,
different company since obviously Konami is not going to work out. So I
right,
mean, it sounds like regardless, you're going to see Skullgirls in some form or fashion. It's
right.
just a matter of, but if you already downloaded it too, you get to keep the game. So it's not like it's just going to poof magically disappear. It's just going to be a little bit of, and then, but also for, indie publisher, a month of that game listed on the marketplaces could obviously suck.
Absolutely. It could be the difference between a success and a failure.
Paying the bills or shuttering your doors.
Yep. Speaking of shuttering doors, now it's not a complete shuttering, but CCP, a company right here in the state of Georgia, the developing force behind the ever-present EVE Online, and of course Dust 514, and then hopefully, for God's sake, sometime in the near future, their other MMO, World of Darkness. Um, they have laid off parts of their staff. Now, the question is, how much of their staff did they lay off? The answer to that is, I have no freaking clue because they're not really saying. But what I can tell you is, judging from the financial reports that are publicly available to everyone to view, their revenue stream has increased, but since they're heavily still in the R&D for Dust 514, as well as continuing to work on Worlds of Darkness, they are um, they've got high costs, so their revenue is actually way down from where it should be, and so in order to keep the doors open, they let a lot of people go, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it is a business decision. I mean, you want everybody and anyone whose dream it is to be in the game industry, who's got a job, to keep their job. But at the end of the day, you also want the games that you really enjoy to stay around. And it's unfortunate, but Eve uh, uh, customers as well as Dust 514 will probably be happy that they continue to play their game. And I really hope, cross my fingers, that all the individuals who were released, be them PR, PC, or programmer, artist, sound engineer, whatever, they land quickly on their feet. I'm sure there's quite a few independent projects here around the southeast that they can become a part of, which of course segues me into this next piece. I met a team recently at one of the Georgia Game Developers Association meetups, and they were kind of talking in subtle tones about a game that they were interested in playing called Art Life the Game. They've got a phenomenal artist. They've got quite a few programmers, Taskmaster, all that stuff. So they've got their shit together. Now, of course, they're just looking for some funding to get this game to be a reality. This game, of course, is on Kickstarter. The link is on Alter Confusion, so if you want to go there, just hit up Alter Confusion, look for the Art Life the Game. They have already met their goal with 7 days to go, so this game is coming to mobile devices. Now, they wanted to do not only mobile devices, but they also want to do digital comics. Now, I'm not exactly sure how the digital comics play into, or how you would access the digital comics to try to get you more into the world. But this seems like a very interesting game that is at least, deserves a look-see to see, if it's your type of thing. From the video that they have thrown up there, I have to say that some of the gameplay looks very, very basic, a little too basic. But then again, we are talking a mobile platform, and I'm sure that if given a little bit of extra money, they'll be able to refine some stuff, add some additional characters and whatever. I would like to see this, as an independent developer supporter, I would love to see this succeed. They are trying to target September 2014, but that's when they really want to release it. But they're telling everybody December 2014, which I know seems like a long time, but a year development to really make sure your product is solid is not that bad. When you look at the time between StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2.
Really? You're comparing it to Blizzard, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't, pick any other game. Nope, let's just jump to Blizzard.
Well, Blizzard has a very interesting relationship with gamers, and that is that they space off sorry. Got distracted. Oh shit. I forgot to mute that. They have this amazing ability to be able to not have to release a game every year, but at the same time, if their game's not ready, people aren't going to be thoroughly pissed when they're like, yeah, we're going to have to delay it by a year.
Now, the thing is, though, by the same token, Blizzard, they had a lot of cred built up, but they also burnt a lot of that cred with Diablo 3.
To be honest with you, I think one of the biggest pieces that really burnt their cred was their merger with Activision.
I think maybe their merger with Activision made people more skeptical, like wondering, how's their next title going to work out? And then when Diablo 3 came out, I think that's when people were like, okay, now what are they going to do next? That and with Mist of Pandora, from the World of Warcraft series, I think Blizzard has kind of lost that reputation as being a company who always comes out with a quality game. And I think they can still come out with quality games, but I think they've lost some of that cash they had with the gaming community that they used to have.
Well, I think one of the things I agree. I think that Diablo 3 really was a hard hit towards Blizzard and their credibility in the game marketplace. But like I said, I think that the first steps of losing some of that credibility was the merger with Activision, simply because Activision is one of those notorious companies that likes to give you regurgitated content over and over and over again, but slap an additional $60 price tag. That and Blizzard has always been a force in the PC marketplace, but as soon as that merger happened, you knew that Activision was going to try to knock Blizzard out of their comfort zone and force them to put it onto other devices. Yes, I understand. More platforms means more gamers. But if you screw up in one place, the PC,
Yep.
and you're not likely to have that, as big of a success on the console because you're basically regurgitating the game. Although, now I'm not 100% sure about this, but from all the commercials or whatever for the the Diablo 3, it looked like hot seat play. Which, for God's sakes, why would you take that away from the PC gamers? Yes, I understand. Everyone needs their own screen. All right, allow us to do LAN. I want my LAN games back!
Now, I've also heard people who played the console version of Diablo 3 also say it's superior to the PC version, interestingly.
Interesting.
That it actually works out and plays really well on the console. But I also think part of that, too, is because, Diablo 3, it's basically limited to your, 6 hot buttons?
Yeah.
And then, it seems a little bit limited on the, PC when you're used to having a keyboard versus when you bring it to a controller where you have, your 4 natural buttons and say the 2 triggers. That actually works really well on the console to have that type of format that you had on the PC version. So apparently it actually works out pretty dang well. I don't know. I'm not going to buy it on the console anytime soon. But from what I've read, it's actually pretty good.
Gotcha. What was I going to say? Damn it, I had a point.
Probably also.
No, go.
So whenever, I don't even know when the expansion comes out or the patch update, I don't even know what it's called. It's the big update that they're doing for Diablo 3. When that, I'll probably try it again. I should actually probably pay attention when it's coming out.
Give me a sec. I think I wrote about it on
Reaper of Souls. There we go.
Yep, Reaper of Souls.
Who knows? For all I know, it's already out.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Sorry.
Not as much attention I've been paying.
Sorry,
I've been stuck on playing Civ 5 lately. It has my soul.
Mm-hmm.
The expansion set.
Oh, Lord.
We can charge forth as the Crusader.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to take Act 5 by storm.
Mm-hmm.
Closed beta is now available. Very exciting.
Yep.
Which means it hypothetically should be coming out pretty soon. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to close some stuff down in my background here. So, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm hearing static now from you.
Huh?
I'm not hearing static from you now.
I'm trying to close down as much as I can. Steam, what are you trying to download?
Steam is like a hog. It goes insane on my computer. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's doing most of the time. Speaking of, the Steam OS is available for use like this week or something.
Woo!
Are you excited? Are you going to download it, install it on your computer? Get excited?
No.
Oh.
No.
Or you have Dota 2, which randomly decides I have a 2 GB patch to use, even though I haven't played it in like 3 months.
Congratulations!
Well, I guess that's what happens when you turn on auto update for all of your games.
Yep.
You log into Steam and it just decides, let's update everything and see what happens.
Yep.
Which now that thing I wrote about probably just not help VoIP communication either.
Nope.
Darn you, Steam, for ruining my life.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do have another bit of sad news since today seems to be a day of sad news. Some of you out there might have actually stumbled upon this portion of Penny Arcade called Penny Arcade Reports. It was a very well-crafted section of Penny Arcade, which featured a very well-written individual by the name of Ben Kuchara. Me and him shared pains about the fact that no one could talk to Ouya. But Penny Arcade is going to shutter the Penny Arcade reports at the end of the year, basically stating that it was not really, in the Penny Arcade realm, which I understand. I mean, Penny Arcade to me is webcomics and then a convention that was founded on webcomics and now features a shit ton of games, be it video games, board games, whatever. So I understand. I wish that this had succeeded. It was a project 2 years ago, and unfortunately they're shuttering it now because it just doesn't really fit. The other thing that they're going to do is they're going to be shuttering Penny Arcade TV. They're not shuttering their shows, but third-party shows that they're basically hosting, basically like a YouTube channel group kind of situation, like Geek and Sundry, or the Nerdist, or something like that. They're just going to go with first-party content. So, for that, it's not really that bad because the majority of those videos were also available on YouTube. So they're just going to stop hosting and supporting them directly. I'm sure that they'll still find some way to support some of those people because some of that stuff was kind of like inadvertently involved Penny Arcade. So
Honestly, I haven't been to Penny Arcade in a long time.
mm-hmm.
I maybe go to Penny Arcade like when it's linked on the website, or when I need to Google Gabe's interwad fuck theory, whatever it is.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's about the only time. I don't know. Penny Arcade just doesn't really. It's not on my radar. Other ones are like QC, questionable content, or PhD comics, Nerf now. Other ones are. I don't know. Penny Arcade just doesn't do it for me.
I have not really read any web comics exclusively for a while.
The one I still read on a daily basis is still QC, and it's more probably out of habit than anything else, to be honest. Now,
right?
It's kind of lost its humor and charm from the beginning of the series. It's got a little bit serious and a little drama-esque, and like it's every once in a while there's still a good laugh out loud comic, but for the most part it's just not. And I really just read it because I've read it since it came out.
Right.
So. Yeah, there aren't really any webcomics now where I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Yeah.
It's because I stopped drawing comics.
What?
It's because I stopped drawing the Ultra Confusion comic.
That's what it comes down to. It's killed me. What I really miss is the Sunday the newspaper comics was easy in the morning. You just open up the paper, bam, the right news. You read like Zitz. You'd read the one with the dog and the cat, the really cranky cat. Get Fuzzy, Garfield, even though it ran its course 15 years ago.
Foxtrot.
Yes, Foxtrot's still relevant. He does a great job with that.
Oh, hell yeah, he does.
Yeah. So, I miss that. And it's kind of like, almost in the morning, if you want to read this, your daily comics, you basically have to, like, open up, like, 8 tabs in their own little windows and then go to each one. It's just not the same.
That's why you need to download, I believe the application is called Flipbook. It basically creates a digital magazine for you based on the websites that you feed in. So if you get like the RSS feed for one of your webcomics, it'll literally throw it in there. So literally all you do is go, bloop, and it's like, boom, bloop, there's another one.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Good to know, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so let's see here. What have I been playing?
A lot. You're always playing something.
Yeah. I'm kind of embarrassed about what I've been playing, though.
Have you been playing Pretty Little Liars? Not that there's nothing wrong with that.
No. I'm still playing some Facebook
Actually, that could be
games.
definitely like a point-and-click adventure game. Because you have to like find clues to find. Okay, I know this is kind of giving away. I've seen it before, but they have to find out what's going on in the series and find out who's trying to do what. I can actually see that being like a mystery game.
There you go.
What have you been playing that you're kind of
Facebook games.
Oh, oh.
Mhm.
Dude, aren't you a hardcore gamer, man? You're not real. You're fake. What's up with that? Actually, I saw you get some. I saw on Facebook the other day you had like your some video game, something about mutants or something. I think
Mutants.
superheroes, maybe
Oh, the Shield
Gotham.
one.
Yeah, I saw like Charlie does something in the Shield.
Yeah, I beat it. I beat a boss.
Nice.
Damn straight, it was nice. There's like I okay, so there are certain Facebook games that have finally like turned a corner and are making it accessible for those who have friends who have no interest in playing Facebook games ever.
Hmm.
Um, but you have to have friends to advance the story. So now these games are basically pulling in all of the gamers, and you can have game friends that don't have access to any of the rest of your Facebook. I mean, they could probably Google. I mean, they could search your name, but they not a friend, like not a Facebook friend, but basically a friend in the game, so they can help you. Now there
Yeah.
are other games that do not have this option, and it infuriates me greatly because you invest so much time, and then you're just screwed.
What I want to know, are there any real Facebook games that don't require you to like basically interact with friends? When they all seem to have some kind of element of like, ask friends for help. Like I'm just throwing it out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
Civilization 5,
Mm-hmm.
just it happens to be in Facebook. You know what I mean? Something where I can just play my own damn single player game on Facebook without having to play with other people.
No, there's no such thing. There are quite a few games where you can get away with getting a shit ton of the game done
Mhm.
by keeping an eye on like this little. There's a game called I don't even remember what the fuck the name of this game is called. It's playing right over here, but it's called like the Forest of Mistwood or something, or the Mystery of Mistwood. Um, there's an icon up there that keeps flashing, and when it says um, poll for your opinions or something, that's when you click it. You click it, you fill out a survey. You could throw in a bunch of bogus stuff, and at the end of it, if they select your survey, then you get like four like starter packs or something, so you can like fuel up the gold bars you need to basically say,
Nice.
"Fuck you! I don't need no friends." Um,
Beautiful.
mhm,
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't know if you went to this panel with me, but when we went to PAX,
mhm,
what was that, 4 years ago now?
sure,
It was around 4 or 5 years ago.
yeah,
But I remember one of the panels we went to is by a creator of a video game that I can't remember now. It was a big trip of all time we have all heard of. But that
mhm,
was his prediction, was basically in 5 years from then, obviously it's a little bit, slower than he anticipated, but in 5 years, basically all video games will be played on your web browser. On the PC, I should be
yeah,
more specific, on the PC. I mean, I know we're not there, but there is that slow movement to, it's, I mean, think about it, on Facebook, you started out with like Farmville in your Facebook games. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You start the most basic of possible video games. And now you're getting actual, like, 3D immersive games
right,
on the web browser. So I know it's a slow progression, but in a way I could see where he's coming from. I still, when you start getting, games with intense graphics, could still have difficulties through web browser, especially because, now you're relying on, well, shit, do we rely on, Chrome or Internet Explorer or Firefox? Because you got three different web browsers implementing, technology in three different ways. So obviously makes it a bitch to do. But, the progression's getting there.
yeah. Yeah, I think that I mean, in all honesty, we are truly going towards cloud-based gaming, where everything is never going to be on your
The
computer.
cloud! Everything's on the
Oh, for
cloud!
fuck's sake! which both, of course, scares the shit out of me. But at the same time, I think that's just a reality because one, if you're playing a game on the cloud, then you don't have to be as aware of how much physical hard drive space you have, which allows you to buy more.
Okay, the thing with that, like, hard drive space is so bloody cheap. Like, unless you're downloading like torrents of like movies, I don't know how the hell people run out of hard drive space. Unless you have movies. Like just
Consoles,
from games alone, I have so many damn video games on my computer, and I'm not even close to being filled up.
consoles.
Okay, okay, consoles. Okay. This is true. Well, even doesn't the Xbox One even have like a 500 gig hard drive or something?
Hmm.
So that's pretty large at least.
Yeah, but then we're talking about like a Blu-ray worth of information.
True. Guess we'll have to see what happens. Uh, yeah.
All I
I
have
can,
to say is that I was very disappointed by the fact that I digitally downloaded a game onto my Xbox One and played exclusively from the hard drive, and the load screens were like close to a minute, if not over a minute.
like, if there's any irritation I have with video games on the console, like it's the I'm trying to keep it halfway PC friendly. Load screens, for the love of God, load screens. Like,
Look,
yes,
there.
ah,
No, no,
I get
okay,
that you need load screens, but still, come on, guys.
right. Well, I mean, an Xbox One game with a load screen baffles the shit out of me because we're talking like next gen technology here. We have got to have gotten past the point of needing a fucking load screen. Now, I will give you this. There are quite a few companies out there that try to cut corners, and what they do is they try to load the game in the background so that you never see a load screen. Now, of course, if you toggle the run feature and run in a straight line, you're going to fuck up your game because it's going to hiccup and basically hitch for about 5 to 10 seconds. But that's much better than sitting there and watching the same fucking load screen between levels every time. God forbid the Xbox turns off though, because the Xbox has a very, very long startup process because it's
It's
supposed
like
to
starting a
remain
computer,
on.
basically.
Yeah. And then you get into the game, and the game decides, fuck it. You've waited this long, you can wait a little bit longer. Actually, go get yourself a drink. We're not even gonna be we're still gonna be here.
I thought it was one of like the advertising points of the Xbox One was like no load time for video games. You can just poof it right on.
What no, see, selective language. Sony is the fucking king of selective language, but Microsoft as well. I mean, they have to sell their product. What they mean by that is that if you're watching TV, and let's say that you're playing a game,
Okay.
we'll just say
The Vampire Diaries.
what? Yeah, okay, fine. You're playing the Vampire Diaries adventure game or something, okay? And then all of a sudden you decide, shit, an actual new episode of Vampire Diaries is on. So you go Xbox, watch TV, and floop, it basically freezes the game, it puts it off to the side, and you watch your show. And then I don't know how long is it, a 30-minute show or is it an hour show?
42.
All right, 42 minutes. Fine, 42 minutes later, you're like Xbox, play a game, bloop, bloop, right back into the game.
So it's literally just like almost like alt tabbing.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's like
But it's only that one game that you're playing. So if I want to quit the Vampire Diaries and go play Bloody Arrow,
yeah,
now I'm booting Bloody Arrow from like the very beginning. Not
absolutely. Right,
gotcha.
right. Not a frozen piece of it.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah. Yes. Um. Yeah. So, anyways,
Now, I've increased the load speed of Netflix. Or does Netflix still take 30 seconds to load?
dude, I think Netflix is broken
You
on
know
the
what
Xbox
annoys me
One.
about Netflix? Is I load Netflix in every damn time. Would you like the normal version or the kids version of Netflix? For the love of God, can't I just select a damn default?
Oh, you're talking about the 360, right?
Yes. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
every time it asks me, which version do I want? I'm like, seriously? You're asking me again?
I think
Is it possible that a company can make their interface worse with every single patch. Just saying.
Yes.
It is. We know this by Netflix.
No, 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 no,
Netflix.
no, no, no. No, I could tell you one that's worse.
Oh, Sony.
Windows Millennium.
Oh, okay. You can't really argue against that. I mean, yes, Windows ME was a massive shithole. Storms.
Yeah, and they kept breaking it worse and worse. It's
Well,
like,
okay,
oh,
you figured out. At least Windows ME had a purpose. Like there was a reason.
there was a purpose?
Okay, little backstory. Here's the window. Here's the reason for Windows ME why it's such a massive clusterfuck of everything.
Yep.
Is remember Windows 95 was built purely on the DOS. Like
Yep.
it was a Windows was a DOS was a program based on DOS.
Yep.
The whole purpose of Windows 90 or Windows ME, I should say, was now you have a true native 32-bit operating system that was not based on DOS.
And of course,
And
it
was
broke
that
every
transition.
single one of my games.
And the true issue was the drivers. It was really the driver manufacturers who couldn't figure out how to make their damn hardware work with this new concept of not DOS, but actual Windows running your actual hardware. It was really that transition of the 16 to 32-bit and transitioning from the DOS to Windows ME that really just foobarred everything and just blew it up. Same thing when you went from like XP to Vista. Again, you're going from XP was a true 32-bit OS, and all of a sudden you got to 64 with Vista, and that's why you got to Vista, and that's why Vista was terrible. As again, was hard drive manufacturers were writing terrible. They've always written terrible, shitty drivers.
I agree.
It just happened to work with XP because well, everything works in XP. Damn it.
To be honest with you, I think that's just like a Microsoft product, a kind of way of looking at things. Because I work in information technologies. Let's just put it that way. I've worked in some capacity in IT for the past almost like 7-8 years. Okay, and I can't tell you how many fucking times dealing with web-based applications after Microsoft decides, guess what? We have a new standard internet browser that no one's going to be compatible with. Case in point, I currently work for a website creation company, and Microsoft decided it would be a fabulously amazing, stupendous idea to have all Windows 8 users automatically use Internet Explorer 11.
Oh,
But
yes.
if you weren't a Windows 8 user, you were using Internet 10 or
course.
Internet Explorer 10, which of course was causing all kinds of problems because we were basing our architecture off of the most used the most highly available version of Internet Explorer. Since 11 wasn't out for anything else besides Windows 8, we got our service calls kept going up. Now, Firefox and Chrome are much better at when they change web browsers. Actually, I used to work at a law firm as well. One of the biggest issues was there's a piece of code that like hardwired it to be Internet 9, and Internet Explorer 10 came out, and it basically, if you had that Internet 9 code in there, holy shit, it would decimate your website, and you couldn't figure it out what the hell was wrong because it started basically grabbing your code and then throw it in random places.
I'm kind of sad. Firefox no longer runs on Windows 2000.
Boo!
For years, Firefox still ran on Windows 2000.
Yeah.
Long time it ran on Windows 2000. Now Google Chrome, I'm sure, still runs, and that's the difference between Microsoft and like say Firefox and Google.
Yep.
Is you can still run the most recent version of Firefox or Chrome on XP. Whereas if you're a Windows user on XP, well, you're pretty much boned.
I think
I think you're
9.
still Internet Explorer 7. I'm pretty
Well, I
sure.
thought you could get on XP. I thought you could get to 9,
No, definitely not 9.
8.
Maybe. I'll check when I get to work tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure it's just 7. Uh, Let me see. And one of the reasons I know is we are kind of screwed at school because they're like, yes, you have to have Windows Explorer or something to do stuff, but we can't because we're still in XP. So I'm like, yeah.
Can you change? Are you roped into only utilizing a Microsoft-based browser?
Um, the problem is it's a bank program and it's
Oh,
only like written specifically for
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
You know what
I
I'm
know
talking
that one.
about.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, really? We can't use like Google Chrome like everybody else uses now? And it's like, nope, we're a business use Internet Explorer. I'm like, great.
Ironically, they're forcing you to use the web browser that has been the cause of the most security loopholes known to man.
Oh yeah. Well, you know the reason why that's what they store is because of Active Directory.
Yeah, right,
Because
right.
they can control because they lock it down in businesses, so businesses require at least most businesses don't require Internet Explorer 6 anymore. That was a big thing for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Alrighty. Now that we've gone like really techy on everybody,
I think we got maybe just a little bit off topic there with you know, yeah, it was still electronically related.
yeah, yeah. I wonder if my wife's going to be up after this. We've been watching
Uh,
superhero movies at night. We watched Avengers last night. The night before was Thor. Maybe I could talk her into watching Captain America.
and by the way, you are right. Windows Internet Explorer 8 is for XP. It's 9 you can't get on XP. You're right.
I thought yeah, I had a feeling.
Um, let's see here. I haven't watched a superhero movie in quite a while, actually. I wanted to
Uh,
see the event. What was it, Thor 2 in the theaters, but I never got around to it.
yep, yep. And I checked Amazon to see if I could purchase it. Yeah, it's like yeah, they don't even have a release date for it. So I'm like,
Yeah, it hasn't been. Is it even still in the theaters, or has it been that
it
long?
might be. It might be making it like close to the discount theaters now. I think. I don't know.
I haven't seen a movie in the theater in a really long time. I just don't think of going to the theater anymore. I think part of it is I'm at home. It's convenient. I have my big screen TV, and I can chill and get up and pause it and do things. It's just yeah.
I'm trying to think about the last movie I saw. It was with my sister. It was right around the. It was literally the day after my nephew was born. Um, and it was a scary ass movie, but now I can't remember what the hell it
I have
was.
no idea what movie you're talking about.
Well, of course you. Shit, when was Trip born? Fuck, I don't even remember when my nephew was born. That is sad. I
I
want to say
don't
April.
remember when I'm born usually.
You're one day before Harry Potter's birthday.
Oh, right, July 30th. Thank you.
You're welcome.
When you put it like that, I'm
Yeah.
one day after your sister.
One day before my sister. My sister is Harry Potter's birthday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. By the way, thanks to the whoring out of the Harry Potter series when it was like huge, when you had like uh, collectible card games, board games galore, all that shit. Every single one of those fucking rules was whoever's birthday is closest to Harry gets to go first. I'm like, well, shit, I lost because my sister's going to come out for me.
Nice. Gotta say, back in its time, it was a good series.
It was until it was bastardized for the movie screen.
Apparently now we've moved on to I don't know what the now we've moved on to the Sword of Sonora.
No, okay, so book series for
TV right
movies.
now is the Catching Fire series,
Right, right. Yeah, the Hunger Games.
which I think is just it's okay, nothing great.
Did you read the books?
I read the first one.
Okay. The last one is probably the weakest of the series. The second one is probably the strongest one in the series.
Huh.
Uh, but
I heard
it's
the
not
second movie though
bad.
was really good.
Yes, the second one was
That's what I
really
heard.
good. From my understanding, it was really good, and it kept really close to the book. I mean, it was a
Hmm.
lot closer to the book than than the first movie was.
I've been meaning to read the rest of the series, just haven't got around to it.
Understood.
Just not on my priority list of life.
I know what story you're waiting for, and I apologize if it take me a little bit longer. It's called They're Coming. It's still a work in progress.
I am waiting. I'm waiting on your story. I'm also waiting on Kim's story. She's writing a fantasy story I'm supposed to read for her. So I'm waiting on that too.
Yep.
Many stories I need to read
Yeah, I need
before.
to sit down and type it out. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I don't know. Well, shit, I gotta work tomorrow.
Damn you, work!
Yeah. Um, we have approached the 9 o'clock hour, but I wanted to say one more thing real quick. We're taking the 19th. Zelius, are you still available for the 19th of December?
Let's see here. Let me see my calendar. 19th? 19th for sure. Yep.
Fantastic.
So that'll be an issue. Hell, actually the 26th. Might be able to make the 26th happen, yo.
Right on, right on, right on.
Should we try to plan on making the 26th happen?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I don't see why that wouldn't work. We normally don't do anything it's the day after Christmas, so I don't see why that'd be an issue.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, I think we can have some good times.
Okay, okay. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Hangout. We will see you next week. For myself, Charlie, and Zelius, it is December. Keep warm.
And remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.